Yo, what's up, basketball fans? We told you we would be up after the Lakers and Hornets went final. LeBron James with 2 3-ball misses in the final seconds, and Charlotte goes into the Lakers as a 12.5 point underdog or whatever it was and wins the game. Okay. Austin Reeves got ejected. A lot of stuff to talk about with that game. And I said, we're awaiting the great Dr. A, our buddy, the OG, the Hall of Famer. I don't know. I think he's still in Cabo from All-Star break, right? But we are back to work, man. So we are live. Your boy Rick Kamla here, and let's have some fun. And hopefully Doc drops in as we move along. The second half is here, guys. The stretch run towards fantasy titles began tonight, okay? An all-star weekend was what it was. Me and Brew talked about that on Monday. So let's get into this game. Let's move ahead to Thursday night. Let's have a good time. But before we do, quick word from our sponsor, Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds in everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. So we now move on to our Magic Man of the night from the Hornets victory over the Lakers here tonight. It was, of course, a makeup game from the January 9th game in Los Angeles when the fires were raging and they couldn't play crypto that night. And so this was a makeup game. And we'll get to the Luka Doncic thing here in a minute. He literally shot them out of this game. But this was an absolutely horrible loss for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a little bit like Doc not getting the wake-up call for our show here. It appears that the Lakers didn't get the wake-up call in the second half. They probably thought, Thursday at Portland, that's when we start the second half. No, you had a makeup game here. I know, buzzkillishly early, but it was what it was. The Magic Man for the night, guys, is Miles Bridges. 29-6 with 1 block, 5 steals, and 5 threes, and a bunch of big shots, okay? He had 2 big threes in the fourth quarter that got Billy Mack and Stu Lance howling like, oh, wow. Big shots, okay? So he was the dude here, best player on the court for the winner. Was he better than LeBron James? Probably not, but he won the game. So he's my Magic Man of the night. And gosh, I toggle back and forth on Miles Bridges. It's such a good look that LaMelo Ball played in the first game coming out of the break for Miles Bridges, because we're all kind of like, yo, Charlotte, are you going to shut these guys down? Or are you going to play it straight, which you should? I mean, you lose most of these games anyway. I don't know. I like it when guys play anyway. Like you can, you're not guaranteed to get Cooper Flag, even if you're Washington. You got a 14% chance. But teams still tank and tank and tank like it's the NFL, and it's all depending on record. But it is what it is, man. This is very encouraging for Miles Bridges managers that Ball played, and they're still playing it straight here, and they haven't shut down operations immediately after the break. And then obviously Miles Bridges with a big time game. So good for him, man. And the Hornets caught the Lakers napping in this one for sure. So let's move on to some takeaways from this game. All right, Mark Williams obviously was traded from Charlotte to the Lakers. He failed the physical. According to the Lakers, the Charlotte medical team, while they did not protest the rescinded trade, they played Mark Williams in the first game after the All-Star break, which is a double middle finger salute to the Lakers medical team. You red flagged him and failed a physical, and the trade was rescinded. And we played him before the trade. We're playing him now. And so screw you all. And Mark Williams wasn't great tonight. He had 10 points and 9 rebounds. Very infamously with 9 rebounds. Me and Andre and a colleague of ours, Ben, were talking earlier today. And I like the Mark Williams over prop for rebounds, and it was 9.5. And he ended up with 9, okay? Why? Well, Yusuf Nurkic. And Yusuf Nurkic played tonight. Musa Diabate did not play. Let me just double check this box score. Last I checked, he was just DNP-CD, and that was the case for the game. All right, so we've talked a lot about Moussa Diabate here, folks, in this center position with Charlotte, because it is, a good little area of real estate for some goodies here. Mark Williams has been good this year. Tonight was a really lackluster game, and Brian Windhorst, and he's just reporting. I'm not mad at Windy. We all respect the heck out of Windy, but he was saying with his sources, the Lakers are getting a steady dose of Mark Williams tonight, right? The Mark Williams Bowl and all this kind of stuff. To do that 10-9 with no blocks and no steals. What are we doing here, man? But he's back, okay? And so if you're a Mark Williams manager, it's also very encouraging. You took him off INJ, you put him in the lineup tonight, and you didn't get a great game, but you're going to get some good performances. Is he going to play tomorrow at Denver in the second of a back-to-back? I don't know. Probably not, okay? Will Ball play on Thursday night? Will Miles Bridges play on Thursday night? That may be the soft tank strategy by Charlotte, is just to not go for it in back-to-backs. I don't know. It's a key injury report as we find that out going into the Thursday game. But Diabate didn't play. I will say I'm surprised by that. The way it was kind of going before the break led us to believe, I'll just speak for myself, that Diabate would at least come off the bench here tonight behind Mark Williams, play 18, 20, 21 minutes, okay? That did not happen. Yusuf Nurkic obviously picked up at the deadline. He got those minutes, and he did not suck. He actually helped out tonight. Yusuf Nurkic did not score. He had a really weird stat line. 0, 8, 7, 2, 1. Okay. 8 boards, 7 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. All of that looks great in 18 minutes. He took 3 shots, all from 3. Okay. Just a weird deal here. But Diabate, if Mark Williams doesn't play in the second of a back-to-back, Diabate clearly will. But does this then mean that Nurkic will play 26 minutes, and Diabate will get 18 minutes, okay? And so that's the max for him right now with their 3-pack of centers, okay? That's kind of the way we're trending here. So if you want to use tonight's Denipkada for Moussa Diabate and cut him, I'm not mad at you, okay? If you're in a really deep league, hold on to him maybe for another game to see how it goes. If he goes double-double against Jokic, then, he breathes life into his stay on your team. But as we stand right now, 10-team leagues, forget about it. He probably wasn't on your team to begin with. 12-team leagues, he'd probably be sent to waivers. Nick Smith Jr. played decently tonight. He only made 4 shots. They were all from 3, okay? But he's in streamer land right now, folks. The line tonight was 12, 2, and 1. He's a horrible PRA guy. No blocks, 1 steal, 4 threes. Shot 4 of 13, which in a lot of ways hurts your team. I hate percentages. I don't really... But 4 for 13 is 4 for 13. So Nick Smith to me is a streamer with LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges in there. If for whatever reason, Thursday night, if Ball is out, Nick Smith Jr. is probably going to have an 18 to 20 point game. Okay. But it's all dependent on LaMelo at this point for Nick Smith. And with LaMelo back and playing, again, you want to send Nick Smith to waivers. You want to mess around with some other guys on Thursday night and then treat Nick Smith like a streamer. I'm not mad at you at all. And I actually think that's a pretty good way for you to go. It is Rick Kamla, and we are the Fantasy NBA today here on Sports Ethos After Dark. Good to have you guys with us here. We are back to work after the All-Star break. So LaMelo Ball, as we said, played well tonight. So let's move to the Lakers side here, okay? LeBron James. And I had a conspiracy theory on him. I'll just drop it on you again. I think he did not play in the All-Star game because he was pissed that the NBA scheduled this game tonight, okay? And so Luka Doncic is why the Lakers lost tonight. LeBron James was absolutely spectacular. He played in the game against Utah before the break, then missed the Sunday All-Star game, right? A message was sent. Don't screw me over like that. We're coming back from All-Star break, and you're making me come back a day early. To heck with that. I really think that's why he blew off the NBA. Didn't dress for the team photo, which was totally weird. To me, that was a bleep you to everybody involved in the scheduling of the Charlotte game. But LeBron was exceptional tonight. 26, 7, and 11. 2 blocks, 1 steal, 4 threes. And he missed 2 shots at the end that could have tied it and sent it to overtime. I'm not mad at him. You've probably seen it on Twitter. He had a cock it all the way back, mega blast, a la the early Cleveland LeBron James. And the guy is 40, okay? Again, he's a robot. It does not make sense. Okay, why does Luka Doncic suck now? And I say that because Andre Lemouche, our great producer, I know he's laughing his butt off at me right now. We were kind of going back and forth. And he's taken up for Luka. And, but obviously understanding that Luka's not playing great right now. But and I'm kidding when I say this. Come on, Luka is a borderline top 5 player in this league. But why does he suck now? He literally sucks now. 3 games with the Lakers. I know. He flirted with a triple-double tonight, okay? Like, the counting numbers look pretty good from Luka. Where are they? 14, 11, and 8, okay? He had a big offensive rebound putback, I believe in the final minute, but it had a big bucket. But he shot 5 of 18 overall, putrid, and 1 of 9 from 3. Okay, absolutely putrid. And he has just not been good in the Laker uniform. Okay, and he looks doughy, like, bro, like lay off the pasta, bro. Eat a salad. My God, eat a rice cake instead of a bag of Lay's. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Like, I know he likes to drink beer. So instead of like a really hoppy and caloric IPA, drink a Michelob Ultra, bro. Mix in an Ultra. Why not? It'll buzz you up, okay? And if you drink enough of them, and it's, low cal, all right? Try that. I don't know. Try 100-calorie hard seltzer. You don't have to drink, fattening beers all the time, bro. I mean, my God, the guy, it's like enough with the Guinness, man. A lot of calories in Guinness. You're a ball player. Your body should be your temple, young man. It's not, obviously. Probably late night trips to Cane's. Love me some Cane's chicken. I don't know. Late night pizzas at 2 a.m. from room service and hotels around America. Bro's got to change something, man. Okay, get on a damn treadmill, please. He played 33 minutes tonight. Okay, so I don't want to hear any more about we're measuring his minutes and we're bringing him up, blah, blah, blah. Like, if Luka doesn't play on Thursday night, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to freak out, okay? And I'm not a Laker fan. I'm not really a Luka fan. I'm like neutral on the Lakers. I'm actually more anti-Luka than I am pro-Luka, bitching at the refs and being flabby and just, it's like, dude, like, come on, man. Come on. Zion, you're so blessed, bro. You're so blessed. Like, God gave you everything, and you're just taking it for granted. No. Build on it like Jordan did, like Kobe did. Okay, God gave them everything too. But why did Jordan win 6? Why did Kobe win 5? Because they were killers, okay? And they were nerds about their body and everything, and they had to win, okay? And because they had to win, they just worked and worked and worked. Luka doesn't have to win. Luka is a want-to-win guy. There are want-to-win guys and need-to-win guys. I rock with the need-to-win guys. LeBron is a need-to-win guy. Luka is a want-to-win guy. James Harden is a want-to-win guy. Zion Williamson is a want-to-win guy. They really don't care. I mean, they do, but it's not like, oh my God, life sucks, okay? Like, the world is crashing in on me if there's a loss, right? That's how Jordan treated it. That's how Tom Brady treated it, okay? That's how Wemby treats it. Life sucks when you lose, okay? Life doesn't suck for Luka when they lose. No, he's smiling and always happy Luka and kind of goofy and super doughy, okay? Like 5 of 18. When is he going to click? This was Charlotte. After the All-Star break. You should be rested. You should be not rusty like this, bro. This tells me he had barely picked up a basketball over the All-Star break. We already knew that. It's pretty easy to speculate, right? He's out kicking it on vacation. I think he's married now, so I'm not going to play that card. But, having fun, Luka getting it in somewhere, right? And Laker fans, obviously, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done the trade or like joking like the Mavericks might have been right. But, we're waiting like Judge Smails and Caddyshack. We're waiting. I mean, we're waiting. This is gross. That's why the Lakers lost tonight. Okay. Rui Hachimura did his job. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Jackson Hayes did his job. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 or 5 in 18 minutes. Austin Reeves got ejected. Okay. That obviously hurt the Laker cause here. Dorian Finney-Smith was solid. 12 points in 28 minutes off the bench, banked 4 threes. Okay. The guy that didn't comply with the plan tonight was Luka Doncic, Laker fans. All right. That is why you lost to a team that is now 4-19 on the road. Deal with that. All right. So let's, folks, tell you quickly here about the B150. All right. The great Aaron Brewski puts out the B150. You know about it by now. It's a big deal. And a quick reminder that the last edition of the Brewski 150 is live. It's going to help you dominate the rest of the fantasy basketball season. Our MLB draft guide is also live. You can get both with a 25% discount during the first 6 months of your Sports Ethos All Sport Fantasy Pass subscription by using the code B150 All Sport All Star. Again, the B150, our MLB draft guide that I'm contributing to. This week, I'm writing an article on infield scarcity. You got to load up on infield over outfield early in your draft. Okay. And if you're like, Cam, you're crazy, read the article and you will adopt my strategy after as convincing this article is. Anyway, your boy Cam, I've been doing baseball for years, playing it, and now I'm contributing to it and writing it and having a blast with it. So our MLB draft guide and the Brew 150 with a 25% discount during the first 6 months of your Sports Ethos All Sport Fantasy Pass subscription. Again, the code is B150 All Sport All Star. All right, let's get into a preview here of Thursday night's games. And let's get into streaming options for Thursday. Because it is me and not me and Doc, I may do more than 5 here. So I'll just go into my list. All right, there's 9 games on Thursday. And let's start with bad news about Wemby. Wemby is doubtful for Thursday night's showdown with Bol with an illness. So Wemby obviously picked something up over the All-Star break, shaking hands, kissing babies, and boom, he got sick. I don't know what's going on with him, but doubtful means he's probably not going to play. So I believe that Jeremy Sohan is really going to pop in this game. Okay. He's been playing well off the bench. Harrison Barnes also. This may be one of those like 17 points, 7 rebound, 3 assists, 3 3-ball games from Harrison Barnes, right? Like I've got him in Streamerville, but in this is going to be a good night to stream him. Jeremy Sohan as well. Now it's short-lived value, right? Because Wemby is ill, so he's not going to miss a lot of time here. But Sohan and Barnes are 2 really good streamers for you. Matas Buzelis is not a streamer to me. He's a roster guy to me, but his roster percentage still speaks to him being a streamer. So stream him if you want. Okay. He has started the last 4 games. He has gone 14, 16, 12, and 11 with the points. So he's consistently in double figures here, living there. Patrick Williams is out with a quad injury for the Thursday game against the New York Knicks. That could lead to, I don't know, 5 or 6 additional minutes for Matas Buzelis off of what he's currently doing. And that obviously would build his stat line. So I believe Buzelis should be picked up by you, but at the very least, a very quality streamer for you. G.G. Jackson, as Memphis plays at Indiana. G.G. Jackson, over the last week, guys, I looked this up and because I knew that he'd been, coming on a little bit, but like these numbers were like, wow, okay. Over the last week, 15, 8, and 3. That's pretty good. With 1 steal and 2 threes. That's at least a streamer line right there. All right. Like the minutes, he's not even getting minutes either. Like that's really healthy production. Guy's a stud. G.G. Jackson can really play. He's talented, man. Really good 3-point shooter, and he's long. I need the defense to translate a little bit more, but he may be kind of an offensive side of the court guy. Nevertheless, those are his numbers. I think he's a pretty good streamer. In what should be a high-octane game, right? With Memphis plays at pace with Ja, and Indiana plays at pace with Tyrese Halliburton. It should lead to some open kick-out 3-ball opportunities for G.G. Jackson, and I think this game, the game script fits him as well. Ben Simmons, guys. All right, Ben Simmons is now with the Los Angeles Clippers in a fun game on Thursday night. That was an itch, not a pick, by the way. Is the Clippers at the Bucks? Giannis and Dame are questionable for this game. I believe they're both going to play, but as I speak to you right now, they're questionable. Ben Simmons is rostered in 31% of Yahoo leagues. All right, that number should probably be higher. He doesn't hit threes. That's still a problem. The injury thing still lurks. Okay, he's in a new uniform. He's in a winning environment, and they're making a playoff push. And I think all of this is really healthy for Ben Simmons. In his debut, he went 12, 7, and 6 with 1 block and 3 steals. I believe he is going to ascend and become the 5th Beatle on the LA Clippers, like over Chris Dunn, over Derrick Jones Jr., over Amir Coffey, like he's going to, over Bogey, he's going to be that 5th guy outside of their core 4. So, and he's a really good streamer, okay? If not a guy you just want to pick up and put on your roster. Let's go to the Hawks and Orlando game. This game is in Atlanta. I believe that there are 3 really good streamers on the Atlanta side. George Niang, Karis LeVert, and Zachary Costa. All really good streamers for this Thursday night game. Wow. Look what we have here. Oh, boy. Dude, did you hear that All-Star break was over and that we were back to work? What's up, Doc? How you doing, man? Way to fall in,
bro.
20 minutes into the show,
bro. I was here. I was in my seat. I have the lights on. The studio's fired up. I was watching the Lakers and the Hornets, and you're not gonna believe this, Rick, but I fell asleep, and so I just woke up, looked at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's probably like 11:30, 11:45. No, it's 12:40. Yeah. Totally fell asleep. You know, Batman and Robin. Robin never leaves Batman hanging. Thank God the Joker wasn't trying to kill you right now, because you would have been fighting by yourself, bro. It's my bad.
All good, dude. All good. So we are on.
I will tell you this. The next segment, the next thing we're doing is the top 3 guys to watch tomorrow, right?
Well, we're on streamers right now. I literally just started with some streamers.
Yeah. So my top 3 guys to watch on, I don't even know what day it is. Thursday night, Wednesday night. Thursday night. Matas Buzelis, Jeremy Sohan, and Gigi Jackson are who I had written down. All 3 of those guys were on your streamers list. So I think that's pretty interesting, because I think they're all stream worthy, but I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I don't know if Gigi Jax is going to get enough minutes. I love the fact that Pat Williams is out. Like, that makes Buzelis bump up to the next level. Like, everybody's tired of hearing me talk about Buzelis for the last 3 months. But if there's ever a time you're going to stream Buzelis, it's tomorrow night. And Jeremy Sohan, I think you and I both are just sort of confused. Like, is he going to get enough minutes? Is he going to do enough stuff? I don't really know. The guys that I had written down as streamers were Karis LeVert, Keon Johnson, Mark Williams, if he's been dropped in your league, because I was like, he's never playing for the Hornets again. Well, guess what? He is. So Mark Williams is number 1, I think. And then your guy, Tumani Kamara, and George Niang was my other streamer.
Yeah, I had LeVert and Niang. I love those guys right now. I'm looking at LeVert as a roster guy right now, Doc. I think he's north of streamer. If George Niang gives me one more goodie game on Thursday night against Orlando, he will elevate from streamerville to rosterville. But that's a good list, man. Levert, Keon Johnson, Mark Williams, Tumani Kamara, and George Niang. So let me get into. All right, so that's my list. I got through it. Some guys to double check. I just want to throw this out here real quick, and then launch me and Doc out into a brief conversation. But just some players to double check and see if they're on waivers. Okay, Ball, Klingon, Donovan Klingon of Portland, Isaiah Collier, Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, Ben Simmons. Okay, just a little reset here. You're coming out of the break. Maybe you haven't looked at your squads in a little while here. Kind of like I'm falling back into fantasy hoops, Cam. Just a little reset here. Ball, Klingon, Collier, Bub, Keyshawn George, and Ben Simmons. Now, Doc, this news was interesting. On the surface, you look at it and go, oh, Javonte Green agreeing to a buyout. And according to Shams Charania, headed to Cleveland after he clears waivers. Okay. So Javonte Green has been a good glue guy, defensive type for New Orleans, right? A la Andre Roberson, a la like a Tony Allen, right? And to a much lesser degree, but you get the point. So now, Doc, I believe with Javonte Green out of there, this is outstanding news for Brandon Boston, who they just picked him up to a standard contract off of the two-way. Guys, usually Moussa Diabate being a temporary exception to this, when guys get elevated from the two-way to a standard contract, usually it's an indicator that they're pretty guaranteed of some playing time. That did not work out with Diabate. I guess I can't promise it'll happen with Boston, but I think it's going to happen with Boston. But then the other two ripple effects of this, Doc, are Makovich. Now, especially with Yves Missi being out at least a week with the knee, and Jordan Hawkins, to me, elevates quite significantly with Javonte Green out. Like Hawkins should be greenlit for at least 25 minutes a night going forward here. So how'd you process this news?
Well, I had Javonte Green in my starting lineup in 30 deep. This move prompted me to pull him out, and I put in Damian Bow, the two-way player for Charlotte. I don't even think he played tonight. But Javonte Green's only probably going to get one game this week for Cleveland. I mean, he's going to be buried in Cleveland, man. I think it hurts him. I think one of my guys is going to be hurt in Cleveland. And like you said, I've been hanging on to Brandon Boston in Cam Dynasty simply for this moment, because I think you're right. Makovic and Brandon Boston are probably both going to see a big bump. And we know Jordan Hawkins can ball if he gets the opportunity. Now, which one of your buddies said that Brandon Boston is a bucket? Was it Shaq or Barkley? Or
no? I heard Antonio Daniels on the Pelicans broadcast say that Zion Williamson said that he's a certified bucket getter. Brandon Boston.
I mean, that says something to me. And the reason that I keep hanging on to Brandon Boston is because of that. So, I mean, in fantasy terms, it's not a big move, but it could spring one of those guys you talked about loose. And it could be all three of them. It could be like mini Makovic, mini Boston, mini whoever. But it is interesting. Like, it makes me want to really watch and see what happens in that game tomorrow night.
That is Steve Alexander. That is Steve Alexander, Hall of Famer, a.k.a. Dr. A. I am Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA Today Ethos After Dark. So you gave your three situations to watch, right? And they were kind of piggybacked with. But did you have anything else with that?
They were literally the last three guys you talked about as streamers: Gigi Jackson, Matas Buzelis, and Jeremy Sohan. Which I think is funny that as I woke out of my Cinderella fairy tale dream and joined the show, you're talking about the three guys I had as my top 3 watches for tomorrow night. It's wild.
Kind of wild, man. So let me get into my list here, Doc. The top 3 situations or players to watch. For me, it's Bol. Okay. I'm fascinated. I've got Bol in the Cam Dynasty. I've got Bol in Sam Hinkie's letter. I've got Bol in the Sports Ethos League. And I'm trying to scratch and claw, make a playoff spot after rostering Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, and Paulo Banchero. Torpedoed my season. But Bradley Beal and Grayson Allen are available for Thursday night's games. So Bol was really letting it fly prior to the All-Star break. But now that Beal and Allen, 2 shooters, are coming back, I wonder if Bol is going to shrink down to like 8 shots, right? And just catching lobs and being a putback guy and a garbage man. So I'm really watching that. I'm not saying to drop Bol. He's one of my favorite pickups right now, if he's even still available. With the package of block, steals, and threes is ridiculous. Okay. He's like I don't know. He's like really low key Wemby. You know what I'm saying? All right. Russell Westbrook, Doc, is another situation that I'm watching here. I picked him up in one of my leagues. I just kind of went through my leagues earlier today just to kind of scan the waiver wire. Did anybody fall between the cracks? And in one of my money leagues, Westbrook was out there. So I scooped him up. Who did I drop for Westbrook? Dang it. I'll look that up in just a second here. But I dropped, oh man, too many leagues. But Doc, I'm really watching the situation here because Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. are probable for Thursday's matchup against the Hornets. Blowout alert and like lower minutes than usual alert for this one. But Russell Westbrook, 14, 6, and 6 across 30 minutes in 20 starts. And we shall see if he returns to the starting 5 for Michael Malone on Thursday night. I don't know if he will or he won't. Doc, maybe you've got a good opinion and vibe on that. But you're going to have Brown. You're going to have Porter. You're going to have Gordon. You're going to have Westbrook. They're all in there. This is really a situation to watch. Do you have a good read on if Westbrook you think will come off the bench or start?
I do not. But here's what I do know. Michael Malone was leaning on Westbrook when he was healthy. And other guys were suffering fantasy-wise because of it. And I think he's going right back to Westbrook when he's healthy. My guess is he'll start. I think it hurts Aaron Gordon. It definitely hurts Julian Strawther. Bye-bye. Julian Strawther has done some nice things, right? Like he's been a fun reality player to watch. He's not fantasy worthy, but he goes bye-bye. And it hurts Christian Brown a little bit if Westbrook's out there playing. So I like the Westbrook call on the watch. I like the Bol call on the watch. Bol is one of my top 3 risers, which we're going to get to in a couple minutes. But you're right, man. If Grayson Allen's playing and if Bradley Beal's playing, are they going to keep going to Bol? I hope they do, because honestly, after that All-Star debacle, after that dunk contest debacle, after Damian Lillard let us down in the trifecta, we need Bol. Like Bol gives us hope and sunshine, and I love Bol, man. I want Bol to keep playing. Please keep playing Bol.
I agree. He's a breath of fresh air, man, and the stats are absolutely amazing so far. We shall see. One more situation, Doc, that I want to talk about. Player situation to watch. Doc's giving you 3. I'm giving you 3. Here's my third. Ian Begley, who reports for the Knicks that OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson, full participants at Wednesday's practice. Josh Hart is out with a knee injury for the Thursday game against the Chicago Bulls. Coming out of the break, seeing a guy like Hart, who always plays, miss a game, mildly concerning, I would say. But Mitchell Robinson, Doc, back on the radar. Shams reported in early February that Robinson and the Knicks were targeting a March 1st return date. So he's on track for that. So we're still, a week plus out from Mitchell Robinson maybe coming back. But we haven't really talked. I mean, look, it's okay. Full participant in practice. Boom, you're on the radar. Let's talk about your return is imminent. Okay, as opposed to he's hurt. I don't know when the hell he's coming back. Okay, we got a pretty good idea right now. OG Anunoby, great news for him, Doc. That hopefully, being a full participant, he can play through the questionable tag on Thursday and get back to work. I know there's a lot of optimism around the New York side that he is going to be able to do that. So that would be absolutely huge. But Doc, talk to me about Mitchell Robinson coming back and what that does to the Knicks. Precious Achiuwa Mitchell Robinson has been a fantasy guy. Okay, he's been a 9 point, 10.5 rebound, 1.7 block guy, right? Better than what we've seen from Yves Missi this year, for example. So what are we doing with Mitchell Robinson?
I feel like Mitchell Robinson and Robert the Time Lord, like these guys are like we keep hearing, Mitchell Robinson's coming, you better look out. I just don't. He doesn't strike fear in my heart. He doesn't get me fired up like, here he comes. Like at least Time Lord gets me kind of fired up. Mitchell Robinson doesn't do any. I think you buried the lead in the story. Josh Hart is missing a game. Are you kidding me? What is Tom Thibodeau going to like fire him and not let him come in the gym anymore? Like that is concerning because Josh Hart, unsung hero, carrying fantasy teams. You want to see if your fantasy team's good or not? Spend a week without Josh Hart and then find out because that dude is filling up every category and killing it. That to me is the biggest part of the story. Like, what if he misses a week? People are going to lose. People are going to lose their games. He's so good. Mitchell Robinson, yes, I would pick him up and stream him if I had a big hole in my lineup, but I'm really not expecting much. I mean, we haven't seen this dude. He's been on the couch eating bonbons since Oprah went off the air. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to go. I'm not all that fired up about Mitchell Robinson, honestly.
Who's Oprah? Anyway, so like for example, I'd rather have a Clint Capella off of waivers than Mitchell Robinson. Doc, what I think is going to happen here is Mitchell Robinson is going to be maybe that bench big that a lot of us wanted the Knicks to get at the deadline. Just another layer of insurance for Karl Anthony Towns. Cat is number 3 on my MVP list, many others. It's not like he's going to go to the 4 and they're going to like change all of that so Mitchell Robinson can start. I just don't see Tibbs rocking that way. I think Achiuwa is going to play more 4, which is his natural position anyway. Mitchell Robinson will back up the 5. And Thibodeau always used to, when Obi Toppin and Julius Randle were there, keep them at the 4 and the 5s were at the 5, and he did not overlap that. So he probably gets back to that. So Mitchell Robinson to me is a streamer, and maybe not even that. Like if he's playing 17 minutes and going 6 points, 5 rebounds, and a block, it's a waiver wire guy. Okay, like maybe a streamer when there's no other options. But I'm not activating anything here with Mitchell Robinson. He's going to have to come and get me.
So Rick, you mentioned Moussa Diabate while I was napping in my chair. Dude, that's the sad thing. I was in this chair. I was just like, I was out. You mentioned Moussa Diabate. He did not play tonight. Do you know, is there news? Like, is he not going to play anymore? Because I still feel like Moussa Diabate is a guy. Without hearing what you're saying, I still want Musa Diabate on my team in front of Mitchell Robinson.
I would too, but I'd rather have Clint Capella than both of them right now. And I know Capella's on waivers in a lot of leagues. After being tried, the thing with Atlanta trying to trade him, hasn't played in 2 weeks or whatever. So he's been dropped in some leagues. And I'm not like super psyched about Clint Capella, but I would rather have Clint Capella than Diabate. Like tonight, Doc really soured me on Diabate. Now you're just playing with our emotions out here in fantasy land. And I don't like playing these games. Nurkic had a pretty good game in a win. You know how coaches are when they win with something, they don't want to change it. And Mark Williams is back healthy, and he's going to get his minutes and be the guy. So Diabate is going to have to be flirting with double-doubles in 18 to 20 minutes anyway, and now Nurkic has that spot. So like I said earlier, if people want to send Diabate to waivers, I am not going to stand in your way. All right, let's move on to top 3 risers. We've got top 3 fallers. Then we'll get into our ATS picks and our prop bet recommendations for you as well. Doc, take us into, it's Rick Kamla, Steve Alexander, Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark. Shout out to our great producer, Andre Lemouche. So get into your risers, Doc. Give me 3 risers if you got them.
Well, I have them because I put this all together way before the show started when I was busy prepping and getting ready to go. But there are people we've already talked about. I mean, to me, Karis LeVert is a riser. Like, I love his role with the Hawks. I feel like they're not giving up and they're trying to win games. And Karis LeVert's a big part of what they're doing. So I got Karis LeVert, no Patrick Williams. I got Buzelis again. I think Buzelis. Dude, here's where I'm at with Buzelis. If Buzelis does not get it done on Thursday night, it's not happening. Like, this is the make or break Matas Buzelis game. And I'll probably not give up on him, even if he doesn't hit. But with Pat Williams out, Buzelis has to hit tonight. He has to. And then Bol. Like, I'm still all in on Bol, man. Unicorns, dragons, rainbows, fairy tales. Please let Bol play 32 minutes on Thursday night.
So with Buzelis, I disagree that this is sort of a make or break situation, because if this young fellow goes to New York and does not play well, it's a tough venue for a rookie. He's probably going to have OG Anunoby on him. If OG can come back, OG is an elite defender who plays a lot of 4. So that I would just kind of be like, it was an OG game. And it was, at the Knicks, right? Very good defensive team. And just a tough team to do your thing against. So that it's a hope for the best game for me. Frankly, I think it's a pretty bad matchup for Buzelis. So I'm not going to trip too much if he has 8 points. All right, my risers, Doc, I have Miles Turner on this list. I was worried about Miles Turner. Okay. He missed the final 3 games before the All-Star break with a cervical strain. Uh-oh, what the hell is that? Something with your neck, right? So that was concerning to me. This was a very refreshing injury report update to get the Miles Turner available Thursday night's game against the Grizzlies. Okay. So I got a lot of Miles Turner, folks, and a lot of you guys do as well. We need him for the stretch run. I got one of the most unique stat packages in all of basketball. And Doc, he is on a contract push. All right. It's going to be one of the top free agents this summer. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. They weren't able to come to terms with him. They didn't move him. He is going to be playing for dollars and maybe auditioning for a new team. So he is going to be locked in the second half for Indiana as they make a push to the playoffs. Scoot Henderson, Doc, is on my risers list because he's back. Full practice on Tuesday. Looks like he's going to play Thursday night against the Lakers. I was concerned about Scoot. Where are we going with this, right? Appears that it wasn't a big deal. Jeremy Grant and your boy, the Time Lord, are questionable. I don't care about the Time Lord. I do care about Jeremy Grant, okay? If Jeremy Grant is out, Scoot is really going to take off in this game. And at that point, I would like his point and or assist over props, okay? It's the Lakers at home. Scoot gets up for these games. If Grant plays with Abdia, with Kamara, with Klingon, and Simons is healthy and Sharp is healthy, it's tougher. Too many mouths to feed, okay? I'm not doing an over prop on any of that. Grant's got to be out, okay? But Scoot is on my list. And then, Doc, finally here, I want to bring up our boy, Cam Thomas, okay? The Nets aren't going to shut their guys down. They've got 20 wins. They're playing D'Lo and Claxton and Cam Johnson. They did not trade Cam Johnson or D'Lo or Claxton, okay? And Cam Thomas, I was kind of worried that he was like just going to be shut down for the year. I'm not worried about that anymore. He's going to come back, and I think Cam Thomas is going to be a savior of sorts for fantasy teams down the stretch. He will participate Thursday in his first 5-on-5 scrimmage since injuring his hamstring. He's been out since January 2nd. So, Doc, we're talking about a ramp up here, right? Probably a couple of weeks, but we should be getting Cam Thomas back, I would say, about the first week of March, okay? And so that's right as we're about to approach the fantasy playoffs, but he's 90% rostered in Yahoo leagues. There's no like pickup thing going on here, but those are my guys, Doc. I got Cam Thomas, Scoot Henderson, and Miles Turner. Those are my risers as we come out of the break here.
Well, I'm fired up to hear you think that Cam Thomas is going to do something because honestly, I forgot all about him. He's on all my teams. He's eating up one of those injured reserve lists on all my teams. So, welcome back, Cam Thomas. I can't wait to get you activated. I hope you finish out the season. Rick, I'm sitting here watching the Lakers post game, and there's Luka Doncic. He's on the podium in front of a microphone. He's not drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette. That's weird. I thought that's all he does is drink beer and smoke cigarettes. According to Nico Harrison, that's what he does. Luka. Oh, I love Luka. I cannot wait for the Luka revenge tour, bro. I'm so fired up.
Dude, the Luka revenge tour is bricks from three ball land and
he didn't play well
look
tonight.
in a ramshackle freaking beard. He looks
He's
like
not
crap
comfortable. He's not comfortable yet. Oh, it's coming.
Excuses.
Oh, I can't wait for the revenge tour, bro. We're going to rule the world.
Whatever. Luka is anesthetizing me right now and irritating and annoying me. Let's get to top three fallers, dude.
Ooh. You may have to go first on this.
All right. Let me go to my list.
For some reason, I wrote down all my risers. I didn't write down my fallers. I guess Musa Diabate is at the top of my list. Go ahead.
So I've got Drew Holiday here, guys. He is not on the injury report for Thursday's game against the 76ers. He had a right shoulder impingement. He's back, and nobody cares. Okay? Drew Holiday missed 4 games. He's coming back. Nobody cares. All right? Hey, Drew Holiday. Nobody cares. Kind of like how people were down here on the Gulf Coast when I asked them about the All-Star weekend. Okay, the dunk contest. And the All-Star, like, what is that? Literally, that's what they – and by the way, second worst ratings in the history of the All-Star game. NBA, you're doing just great. Okay? Drew Holiday is back and nobody cares. All right. And he's now in the way because he's been in your INJ spot and now you got to activate him and cut somebody else. Maybe you don't want to cut somebody else. Maybe you want to cut him. Okay. Jalen Suggs. And I still look at him as a buy low guy. Okay. I'm just stubborn that way, but he participated in running portions of Tuesday's practice, but was withheld from contact. That means he's not going to come back after the All-Star break, Buzzkillville. Okay. So that's a faller situation. But then I still look at him as a buy low. Okay. You will not have to give up. And his managers are probably really pissed now that coming out of the break, he's still going to miss games. So try to go get him. And then Quentin Grimes, I wrote down here with a question mark because Lonnie Walker has agreed to a 2-year, $3 million contract with the Sixers. But I just wanted to bring this up because I think Oh, Lonnie Walker's with the Sixers. I'm happy that he's back in the NBA, okay? But I don't think he's going to pinch Quentin Grimes, who's over the last week plus has gone 17, 6, and 4, 1-1 with the defense with 2 threes. Okay. Walker's going to come back and be a deep bench guy for this team. Okay. So I'm not really worried about Quentin Grimes, but I wanted to bring that up just in case you guys were looking at him as a faller with the Lonnie Walker addition. All right, Doc, give me 3 fallers.
Well, Quentin Grimes to me is a riser, and I'm not going to give you 3 fallers because I was sleeping when I should have been putting this list together. Like, that's the thing about Andre's email. It's like top 3 risers, top 3 fallers, all in one line. And because I'm stupid, I do the risers and I forget about the fallers. So I didn't do it. I'm going to go with I'm going with my standby, bro. Chris Middleton. Actually, my first answer is Chris Middleton. My second one is Chris Middleton. And my third one is Chris Middleton. If he's on your team, you're doing something wrong. We've told you all of the hot pickups. Go get someone other than Chris Middleton.
All right. So, Doc, before moving on here, download the Sports Ethos app for elite fantasy tools and real-time updates for NBA, MLB, and NFL. All right. Do you have any ATS releases for the people on Thursday night?
I've got the Lakers in a bounce back after that disheartening Luka-led loss to Charlotte. I've got Lakers minus 3.5. I like that. I've got Norman Powell, all-star snub. Thank you, LeBron James, for declaring yourself out an hour before the game and not allowing Norman Powell to play. Norman Powell's going to be pissed off. If he's 2.5 threes, lock it. It's a Locktober in February. If it's 3.5, I'm still going to bet it because I think he's pissed. So I'm going Norman Powell plus 3.5 threes or 2.5, whatever it is. Karl Anthony Towns, automatic double-double, lock it down. Wemby, double-double, lock it down. Parlay, all this stuff. And Lakers minus 3.5.
All right. All right. So let me give you some ATSers here, folks. Some Cam goodies for you here. Hawks plus 1.5 at home against the Magic. I'm going there. The Hawks are more talented than you think they are. They're still in this, people. Trae Young will not have Suggs to contend with. That's huge here. And the Magic will not have Suggs breathing life and energy into their thing. LeVert and Niang are killing it off the Hawks bench right now. Orlando absolutely sucks on the road. They are 1-8 in their last 9 road games. The Hawks recently won a game in Orlando by 6, okay? And so I like the Hawks at home, a home dog here, getting 1.5. I like the Bucks minus 1.5 at home against the Clippers, assuming Giannis and Lillard play. They're questionable. I believe they're going to play. If they don't, obviously all bets are off. Here's why. This is a fade Harden bet, okay? Harden versus Doc. You remember Joel Embiid wanted Doc to be the Philly coach. James Harden did not. James Harden won, okay? Doc Rivers fired, Nick Nurse hired, all right? So you got that going on, okay? And then you have Harden against Giannis. You remember back in the day when Harden said, boy, I wish I was just tall and athletic and could dunk all the time like Giannis. Totally shaded and faded Giannis, right? So Harden has history with these guys. Harden shrinks in these reunion/petty games, okay? He runs from the smoke. He's going to have a terrible game, I believe, and I believe the Bucks are going to win. They're 17-9 at home. I'm on the other side, Doc. I like Portland. I had it at 4.5, 3.5 at home against the Lakers. I think the Lakers are in a bad way right now. They lost to Utah before the break. They lost to Charlotte tonight. Why not another bad loss to another bad team? If Scoot and Grant are cleared to play, I want to make that clear. If either of them don't play, I'm out, okay? The Blazers got to be whole. They got to have their thing, minus Ayton, of course, but Klingon actually, I believe, is an upgrade over DeAndre Ayton. You got to have Kamara, you got to have Abdia, you got to have Grant, you got to have Sharp, Simon, Scoot, got to have all those guys. If they're all in, boom, activated. Play Portland. They're back at home. They're riding a 6-game home winning streak, okay? And they lost 3 in a row before the break, but they were all road games. So those are my ATSers for Thursday night. Now, Doc, Ricky props for this Thursday night in the NBA. I got Paulo Banchero, 24 plus at minus 120. Okay, 24 plus points at minus 120. Last year against Atlanta, he averaged 26. This year against Atlanta, he's averaging 31. He had 31 points and 24 points in each of his last 2 games, his best games of the year, okay? Coming out of the break, I think he's going to have a big one at Atlanta. They don't have anybody defensively that can hang with him. Jarrett Allen in the Jarrett Allen Bowl back at Brooklyn, former team angle here in play, double-double, yes, is a minus 105. Boom, play that. Donovan Clingan at home against the Lakers, Doc. I absolutely love the rebound over and the block over, okay? We don't have those digits right now, but play him, okay? Anything reasonable for Clingan. Let me give you his last 2 games. 17 and 20 with 3 blocks in 31 minutes of a start. 21-7 with 1 block in 21 minutes, okay? I might even go over on 10.5 rebounds. I'm not going to go over 2.5 blocks, but I'll go over 1.5 blocks with a bullet. And then finally, Doc, I like a triple-double from Nikola Jokic here. Yes to that answer is a minus 135. He's got 25 on the year. 29 is his previous career high. So he's going to slaughter that record individually. Way more volume of the triple-doubles this season, making it even more likely in this game. Charlotte's center position is going to be completely overmatched by Jokic. So there you go. I got Jokic triple-double. I got Clingan rebounded block props, Allen double-double, and Paulo Banchero over 24 points at the AT Aliens, man. That's it. That's what I got.
Ricky props, you know that here at Ethos After Dark, we're very transparent. We let the people know what's going on. I had a 3-leg propfecta going tonight, and I thought I was money. And then Nick Smith Jr. went like 0 of 6 in the first half for 0 points. So my Ricky props fecta turned out Luka Doncic needed 6.5 assists. That's a dub. Rui Hachimura needed 15 points. That's a dub. Nick Smith Jr. needed 12.5 points. He needed to score 13. He was 0 for 6 in the first half with 0 points. And of course, Rick, what did he finish with? 12 points. 12 points. So Ricky Docs lost the props by a half point again. Bad beat. That's how I roll.
I mean, it's night after night for this guy, but he wins more than he loses overall, and we are done, folks. Doc and I will be back on Thursday night with a recap of all the 9 games, and we'll tell you all the goodies that you need for that. Please subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. If you enjoy the show, leave us a 5-star review. And subscribe to Sports Ethos YouTube channel. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up. Go to your favorite app store and download our app, the Sports Ethos app. It is awesome. And also check out sportsethos.com. Subscribe to our work over there. And the new MLB draft guide is out. So for Andre Lemouche, for Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, I am Rick Kamla. Thank you for watching Ethos After Dark, the Fantasy NBA Today with your boys. This episode's been brought to you by Bet Online.